What do we got here? We got some news articles. ICE arrests pint-sized predator from Guatemala. A New Orleans raid viral photo. Little people, big crimes. A pint-sized predator from I'm just gonna say pedophile. From Guatemala was now. I was gonna be try and censor myself for like YouTube and shit. But I was like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. Not to New Orleans by immigration, customs, and enforcement officers, and his jaw-dropping arrest photo quickly went viral Monday as commentators marveled at the height distance between the grinning migrant and the officer towering over him. The petite predator, Christian Sato Galeano, was photographed with cuffs around his wrists and ankles and a big smile on his face as he stood next to an ICE agent whose back was turned to the camera. So, Sato Galeano? Yeah. Who stood about as tall as the officer's waist in the pic, was previously convicted of indecent behavior with the juvenile ICE said. ICE New Orleans arrested Christian Sato Galeano, a citizen of Guatemala. ICE New Orleans captioned the image shared on X. His criminal history includes a conviction for indecent behavior with a juvenile and sentenced to 2 years in prison. We stand ready to face any challenge, big or small, the local ICE field office quipped. It's unclear if Sato Giuliano was in the U.S. illegally, but the diminutive detainee is expected, they didn't want to say midget, to be booted out of the country after his prison sentence. The Post has reached out to ICE about his status in the country. Online commentators had a field day with the outlandish capture, "This dude's below the law." No need for a plane seat, just deport him back in a suitcase. That's fucked up. Another tease. The average height of a man in Guatemala is just 5'4" according to Business Insider. Though the small fry convict appears to be much smaller, shorter in stature. Sorry. Last month, a similar arrest photo out of San Diego featuring an illegal migrant wearing a South Park t-shirt captured beside a curvy female ICE agent caused a stir online as many wondered if the woman was purposefully positioned with her backside to the camera. The Mexican migrant, 42-year-old Diego Hernandez, was booked for previous drunk driving convictions and repeated illegal entries into the U.S. He was expected to be deported back to Mexico, according to ICE San Diego. Hernandez's gaze was tilted towards the ground as he looked ahead sullenly. The top of his shoes had been ripped off, and his shirt, featuring South Park menace Eric Cartman, ironically read, "Whatever, I do what I want." Whatever, I do what I want. Oh, shit. I guess he was trying to be a Cartman, I guess. Creepy California serial killer wore white face mask during prior burglary spree to hide his black identity, cops say. An alleged serial killer who met his victims on dating apps before savagely robbing and killing them had a lengthy criminal California crime history that included wearing a white face mask to hide his black identity, authorities revealed. I don't know why. Prosecutors charged 34-year-old Rakim Powell on Monday for robbing and killing two men who met on dating apps in 2021 and 2023. He allegedly also attacked a third victim in February of this year, tying him up, beating him with a baseball bat, and stealing his wallet. Jesus Christ. He fucked them up. Prowell of Inglewood was already on probation for 2 burglary convictions between 2019 and 2021. But cops said he was likely linked to as many as 30 break-ins across the Los Angeles. Holy shit. The deranged criminal attempted to avoid detection during the spree by sporting a creepy rubber mask that made him look like a young white man. Security footage reported by Fox 11 were confirmed. Yeah, he looked young because the fucking face mask. It has the uncanny. What? Also, the camera they show, man, you can't even. It's so blurry, you can't like see a good picture. But yeah, I mean, you can kind of say that he's okay. Seems like an interesting character going around, right? Cops found the mask after pulling Prowell over in a car linked to the crimes. It is unclear whether Prowell wore the ghoulish mask face when he allegedly robbed and murdered 51-year-old Miguel Angel King and 53-year-old Robert Gutierrez. Man, he was doing it to fucking gay people. Right? That's interesting. Right? He was posing as a gay He was posing as a gay person and robbing young people. Oh. He was robbing old people. It looks like. King was found dumped in the Angeles National Forest with a fatal bullet wound. Authorities never located Gutierrez's body, but his car was discovered in Prowell's garage, authorities claim. Uh-oh. The creep allegedly tied up and tortured a third man, Jordan Andrews, 40. Yeah, they're all old people. What the fuck? So he was just targeting old people. Gay old people for some reason. Don't know why. February of this year, beating him viciously with a baseball bat. I guess he could get the upper hand. I guess that's why. Andrews managed to escape, but Prowell rammed him with a car as the victim fled, breaking his leg, prosecutors said. Jesus. Imagine the terror and horror these victims felt after being dumped into believing they were meeting for one reason, only to face inexplicable violence. Well, yeah. They basically unsuspecting, right? It's basically like whatchamacallit, right? Sucker punching them. Right, and then you do that. LA District Attorney Nathan Hochman said in a release, Prowell now faces 2 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder, plus carjacking, burglary, and assaulting with a deadly weapon. Or assault with a deadly weapon. He is being held on $2 million bail. There you go. Looks like he's fucked. Alright, here we go.
With breaking news from the Sepulveda Pass, a person struck and killed on the 405 freeway.
Gil Lavis is in Sky 5 with the details. Gil?
Well, Glenn
ran onto the fucking freeway for some reason.
Here on the southbound 405 freeway, just before a skirball. I'm going to zoom in and try to avoid anything that's gory down there on the street, or on the freeway, I should say. You can see some damage done to that tow truck there. We believe the tow truck struck a vehicle on the side of the road, and I'm going to come over to that vehicle here. That person may have been outside, out of gas. You can see the gas can out behind the vehicle, and a lot of damage done to the vehicle. Now, this all happened around...
Oh, fuck. You heard what happened? Basically, this person was out on the road, right, trying to fix their car. And the truck driver fucking slams into the person on accident.
2 o'clock, that's when the California Highway Patrol responded to a person down
Apparently.
on the freeway in the slow lane. When they arrived, they did find that person and pronounce that person dead at the scene. They do have the carpool lane open right now, but they did shut down the entire side of the southbound 405 freeway for a time, but only one lane open right now as the investigation continues. I can tell you that the backup here on the southbound 405 goes all the way back to the 101-405 interchange, but for now the investigation is ongoing.
Wait.
I can also tell you
I know
that
that's...
the tow truck driver
I know where
was
that
given
area
a
is.
field sobriety test and was later taken
Drive
into
down
custody
there
at the scene
sometimes.
here.
'Cause,
So again,
right.
all but the
Because you have to take
carpool
the
lane
405
shut down right
sometimes
now
to go,
in the 405 on the
if
405
you're
freeway in
traveling
Sepulveda
long,
Pass
right to
as
the
investigation
to
is
certain
into,
areas.
goes on into this fatal crash. That's the latest overhead up at Sky 5. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Uh-oh. Well, I don't drive there
Le
that much
gouvernement
now,
propose
but
un pays au
I don't
pays
know what
un
that
plan pour aller
is.
vers le désendettement, pour que la France échappe en peu d'années à l'inexorable marée de dettes qui la submerge. En 4 années, et c'est un délai raisonnable dans la vie d'un pays et de ses habitants,
Du
ce n'est pas
pays
que nous
des
n'aurons plus de
étoiles,
dettes,
Hedibidi.
mais notre dette n'augmentera plus.
Sorry, I'm being a little
Et voilà le
asshat
plan.
there.
Atteindre en
Atteindre.
2029 le seuil de 3% des déficits publics annuels, seuil à partir duquel la dette n'augmente plus.
Dirigeants de droite comme de
Oh, she's
gauche,
back.
vous êtes coupables.
Marine Le Pen.
Vous ne pouvez pas,
I guess she was
vous
in
ne
jail.
pouvez pas pleurer devant les caméras.
Apparently,
les
she's
conséquences
better
des
than
méfaits
Macron right
que
now.
vous avez
Macaroni
vous-même
dude.
commis.
Or the Macron sweets.
Curieux procédé en effet de brandir les dettes dont on est comptable, les déficits dont on est responsable, l'effondrement général dont on est coupable.
So, yeah,
pour
it seems
chercher
like
à
France is in
obtenir
a deficit.
La confiance du Parlement.
Voici le résultat du scrutin.
It's not looking good.
Nombre de votants 573. Nombre de suffrages exprimés 558. Majorité absolue des suffrages exprimés 280. Pour l'approbation 194.
194
Contre 364. L'Assemblée
364
nationale
again.
n'a pas approuvé la déclaration de politique générale. Conformément à l'article 50 de la Constitution, le Premier ministre doit remettre au Président de la République la démission du gouvernement.
There you have it. They want legislators topple France's government in a confidence vote on Monday. A new crisis for Europe's second largest economy that obliges President Emmanuel Macron to search for a fourth prime minister in 12 months. Looks like he is out, possibly. He just toppled his own government. He toppled his own government because he was fucking around too much.
Welcome into CBS News 24/7. South Korea and the United States agreed to release more than 300 detained workers following last week's raid at a massive Hyundai facility in Georgia.
Sorry,
ICE said they arrested a total of
I'm half French.
475 immigrants suspected of living and working in
That's
the
why I
U.S.
was like
illegally.
making fun of him. And
So I want
shit.
to go live now to CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Montoya Galvez with more on this.
Yeah,
Camilo,
that
before
doesn't
I
really
ask
matter
about the
if I'm
details
half
of this
French or
agreement, we
not. I
actually
would
have
still
more
make
that
fun of that
Mexico's
fucking
president
dumbass.
said 23 of those detainees are Mexican workers. Do we know if the Mexican government is working on their release?
Hi, Jules. That is correct. Mexican government officials have indeed identified 23 of these detained workers as Mexican nationals, according to the Mexican government.
Oh, so they got
These
Mexican
workers
nationals
have
and
been
then they got,
interviewed
right.
by Mexican officials inside an ICE detention center in southern Georgia.
And they got
have
some,
been able to speak
right,
to consular officials
South
about their rights
Koreans.
and their due process rights here in the U.S. And according to Mexican officials, the 23 detainees who are of Mexican origin, many of them have opted and chosen to return to Mexico voluntarily, and officials from that country say, Jules, that many of them should be repatriated to Mexico in the coming days. That would potentially avoid having them stay in ICE custody indefinitely, potentially, and facing a legal deportation process, Jules.
Can you break down this deal between South Korea and the U.S. and when we can actually expect the South Korean government to pick up those detainees?
Well, Jules, this large-scale operation in Georgia has really triggered significant diplomatic fallout for the Trump administration. Almost immediately after these arrests were announced by Immigration and Customs Enforcement in Georgia, the South Korean government expressed concerns about the rights of its citizens because, of course, as you mentioned, more than 300 of the 475 workers detained during this worksite enforcement operation are Korean nationals. The vast majority of them are from Korea, and the South Korean government now, we understand, will be coming here through a charter plane to pick up many of these South Korean nationals who have agreed to also return to South Korea voluntarily, just like the Mexican workers that I mentioned earlier. And this, again, would potentially have them avoid any legal penalties, the legal deportation process.
Yeah, I mean, look, if their shit is all fucked up right now, they need I mean, look, if they voluntarily go, they can come back as long as they fix their paperwork. It seems like it should be fine. Because some of them had, right, from what they were saying, right, it's apparently they had fucked up paperwork and shit. Or they overstayed and shit. So, you know, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, well, they said what will happen. They'll be fine. They can re-enter later, at a later time. Not right now.
In our global headlines, officials in Israel say 6 people are dead and more than a dozen others hurt in a terror attack at a Jerusalem bus stop. Investigators say 2 attackers were killed at the scene and a 3rd is in custody. This all comes as violence escalated in Gaza over the weekend. Israeli forces destroyed several apartment buildings and killed at least 150 people, according to Gaza's health ministry. Many Palestinians also dying from starvation. But even as international calls grow for Israel to end this war and let more aid into Gaza, Israel's prime minister delivered a warning to Palestinians today as Israel's military assault intensifies.
In the past 2 days, 50 such towers have been brought down by the Air Force. But all of this is just
like
a
I said, shit's going down. It seems like Netanyahu's trying to enact his plan to like rip these people out.
And assembling on Gaza City. That's why I say to the residents of Gaza, I take this opportunity and say it loud and clear. You have been warned. Get out.
With so much of Gaza destroyed, there are concerns about where Palestinians could even go. President Trump seemed optimistic about ceasefire negotiations, saying that Israel and Hamas may sign a deal on Gaza very soon, but that was before all of this weekend's attacks.
Yeah, they're gonna have to right, Trump is gonna have to talk to Netanyahu again, because that happened. But because Netanyahu doesn't obviously tell everything, right, Trump. So yeah, Trump has to talk to him now and see what the fuck is happening. Uh-oh, the Turks, man. The Turks are all getting fucked up right now. Some shit's happening. Dramatic footage shows Turkish police using shields and pepper spray to force their way into country. Republican caucus. While lawmakers inside the building fought back by piling furniture up against the doors. So the police are there to get them, but they're there to get the Republicans. Interesting. So they're trying to stop a whole political party. Wow. I don't think that's very democratic of them. Hey, where's Hassan? His people need him. What fucking losers. There it goes. They're getting their shit rocked in. They're getting got. Look at that. That's very democratic of them, eh? Yeah, isn't this what Hassan wants? Right? This is his rebellion that he so wishes for, right? For other places to start up, right? Oh, there you have it. Apparently Turkey's in some turmoil right now because right the politicians are up to something, I guess.
יום קשה במלחמה שלנו בטרור. שני מחבלים מתועבים באים לתחנת אוטובוס, יורים באוטובוס, רוצחים 6 מאזרחינו היקרים. אני שולח תנחומים למשפחות, ואני שולח גם איחולי החלמה לפצועים. זה שחיסלנו את שני המחבלים האלה זה לא מספיק. זה שנלך אחרי התומכים והסייענים, גם זה לא מספיק. ההנחיה שלי היא ללכת בעוצמה נגד קיני הטרור. אנחנו כבר חיסלנו קיני טרור במחנות פליטים, ב3. פשוט פינינו את האוכלוסייה משם ושיטחנו את כל תשתיות הטרור. וההנחיה שלי לעשות את זה בקיני טרור נוספים.
You're speaking too fast. I can't read it that fast. Fucking Hebrew is one of those fast languages, man. In the last 2 days, such high rises have fallen. The Air Force took them down. Now all of this is only the introduction, only the beginning of the main intensive operation. The ground incursion of our forces that are now getting organized and gathering into Gaza City. Therefore, I'm taking this opportunity to say to the residents of Gaza, listen to me carefully. You have been warned. Get out of there. You bastard. Why you do this to me? Oh, that looks like a solar panel. Fucking rubble. There you have it. It got bombarded. Terrifying moment. Plane's landing gear collapses during touchdown. Oh. Shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Uh-oh. Boom! Oh god. Instantly on land down. That looks bad. Coming in too hot? Hit the ground too hard? What happened? The pilot was clearly suicidal. Boeing? Uh-oh. We get wind shear during the flare. I heard likely during a warning light. The landing gear failed to lock in. Now you can see the plane's lopsided now. It seems like one of the landing gears is fine, the other one's not. Oh, looks like everyone's fine though. That's good. Yeah, it could have been way worse. They're just getting everyone hustled over, say, emergency vehicles. Got the emergency paramedics there too. That was the emergency paramedics car. Cooling off the engine, right? Alright, there you have it. Oh, this is airport in St. Martin causing landing gear to collapse and the plane to skid down the runway. Passengers evacuated. Led the fire crew right wing of fuselage with foam as the precaution. Pilot issued a mayday call during the landing. 3 people were taken for medical evaluation. Oh, no injury. Oh, okay. Oh, probably because of the stress. Fucking. Right, a stressful situation, probably a little frazzled, right? Probably thought they were dying, like those 3 people, so they were like stressed the fuck out. Right? Almost had a panic attack, possibly, right?
5, the reigning Miss United States is waiting to learn if she'll be granted a restraining order against her former boyfriend. A sitting Florida congressman, Lindsey Langston, accuses Corey Mills of stalking and threatening to release sexual videos of her. Actually, Jack State and local government.
Yeah, apparently this is going on still.
Both took the stand today.
Miss United States Lindsey Langston claims the troubles between her and Congressman Corey Mills started after they ended their 3-year relationship. Ever since then, she claims she's lived in fear of him and is now seeking a restraining order.
Someone please help me because I don't know what to do and I'm scared.
Reigning Miss United States and Republican State Committee woman Lindsey Langston broke down in tears while on the stand, describing her fear of Republican Congressman Corey Mills. Mills and Langston dated for 3 years, but after breaking up in January, Langston says Mills began sending these threatening messages, which include comments like, quote, may want to tell every guy you date.
Hey, man, I don't know what the fuck happened, but apparently, dude, apparently politicians are getting fucking crazy, right?
In other messages included in a police report filed last month, Mills makes references to sending videos, which Langston claims were threats to release sexually explicit videos she'd sent them while they were dating.
And I was beginning to panic because that could ruin my reputation.
Mills also took the stand. He pushed back on Langston's interpretation of his messages, claiming they were in response to a threat made against him.
She even sent me a text that was cropped that just said, good luck, saying that this was his response to you.
Mills suggested there may be political motivations behind the accusations, noting Langston was initially represented by former Republican State Representative Anthony Sabatini, who ran against Mills in 2022. He also claimed he no longer had any sexual images of Langston.
The videos was videos of us showing that we were together probably around the same time as she was also with this individual.
Because the hearing ran long, the court went into recess before a decision on the restraining order request could be made.
Oh, so are you saying there was infidelity possibly? Is that why he's so upset? Right?
Action News Jacks.
Yeah, but that's... well, I don't know. It seems like there's a fucked up relationship going on. Yeah, it seems like they've got a strained relationship, and it looks like they can't be near each other anymore. Well, it looks like they're in the court system now. Good luck. You guys are both fucked now.
The trial of Ryan Routh, the man accused of trying to assassinate President Donald Trump at his Florida golf club last year, is underway. Jury selection began Monday in federal court in Fort Pierce.
So he's finally he's finally in federal court.
Had a semi-automatic rifle and staked out the Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach last September. A Secret Service agent spotted the weapon near the fence line, fired, and Routh fled without pulling the trigger. Court filings show he had spent weeks tracking Donald Trump's movements, scouting escape routes, even seeking heavier weapons, including an RPG, a Stinger missile, and a .50 caliber rifle.
I'm sorry, he was
Say the
searching for
SPS
these
rifle
weapons.
found
He
at the
was
course
searching for
matched
them?
one he bought weeks
Oh.
earlier in North Carolina. Two
The
people
dude,
have already pleaded guilty to gun
the dude won't
charges
be able to
tied
get
to
his
that
hands
sale.
on like most of
Browder
that
has
shit.
pleaded
Let's
not
be
guilty, fired his public
all
defenders,
the
and
like
is
all the
representing
heavy duty
himself.
like
His
explosive shit.
filings
Yeah, not
include
even
personal
not even
attacks on
citizens
Trump,
can
and
fucking
even a
get
bizarre
that.
proposal to settle the case with a golf match. Judge Aileen Cannon is presiding, allowing only a handful of his requested witnesses. Prosecutors plan to present FBI agents, local law enforcement, and the rifle as evidence. Opening statements are expected September 11th. The case is the first presidential assassination attempt trial since John Hinckley Jr. tried to kill Ronald Reagan in 1981. For more unbiased updates, download the Straight Arrow News app or go to SAN.com.
Well, I mean, at least he's finally getting fucking his trial, right? This guy's getting a speedy trial too. It was pretty recently he did this assassination attempt, right? 1 year out. What is this? Also, it's federal court. I don't. The feds don't really take on a whole, right?
A shooting at a bus stop.
They
in
only take
Jerusalem
on
has-
cases they know they're gonna
A
fucking,
shooting
you
at a
know,
bus
win
stop
on.
in Jerusalem has killed 6 people and
So,
wounded a dozen
you can
more.
say they don't take on a lot of
Suspects
cases.
in the attack are also dead. WGN's Winnie Dorch is live in the newsroom with the latest on this story.
My
Winnie?
controller fell.
Well, good afternoon. 2 Palestinian gunmen opened fire at the bus stop, then got on the bus where they let off more rounds. An Israeli soldier and a civilian who were on scene shot. and
Yeah,
killed
this
the
happened
attackers.
earlier today,
According
12
to the
hours ago.
Associated Press,
Yeah, this
police
happened in the
arrested
morning.
An East Jerusalem resident who was connected to the shooting. The shooting happened at the Ramah
At least
Junction
in,
during rush hour.
United
It is
States
said to be
time
a busy
happened in the morning.
intersection at the northern entrance
Or
to
California
the city.
time.
Israel's
Peace-
Shin Bet security
Pacific
agency
Coast.
says the attackers were 20 and 21 years old. They are from the
Pacific
West Bank
Standard
with no prior
Time.
arrests. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu arrived on scene 2 hours after the deadly shooting. He was scheduled to be in court for his ongoing corruption trial, but it was delayed due to the attack. He sends his condolences to the families of those who lost their lives and those who are still recovering. Today's violence, which is the worst on Israelis in nearly a year, comes as the U.S. advances a new ceasefire proposal involving the release of all remaining hostages that Hamas is still holding. In the meantime, Israel has upped its offensive in Gaza. The IDF demolished a 12-story office building in Gaza City. Residents were given a 90-minute warning to get out. Today's unfortunate shooting making a ceasefire seem more out of reach. Live in the newsroom, Winnie Dorch, WGN News.
All right,
It is popping off. Yeah. On to the next. What is this? Oh. Yeah,
How
Don
you doing,
Lemon.
sir?
Yeah, Don Lemon got fucked on.
You live in New York? Who are you? Don Lemon.
You're a fucking moron, dude.
Don Lemon, you're a fucking moron.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Except you've never heard anything I've had to
Fucking immediate. Yeah, who are you, Don Lemon? Oh, you're a fucking moron. Shit.
Don Lemon.
You're a fucking moron.
Thank you. So are you.
Yeah,
nice to see you.
Except you've never
So
heard
are you.
anything I've had
Wait,
to say. and I've
wait,
heard
did
all
he
of it.
just say he's racist? Dude, what? Did you just throw out the race card because he called you a fucking moron? Dude, this is why no one likes Don Lemon. Because he's a fucking moron.
A bunch of what you've
I'm
had
glad
to
you
say.
watch me.
No, I don't.
I'm
You just
glad
get
you
clipped
watched.
everywhere.
I know, but
I've
why don't
heard of
you?
you,
said
but I don't
watch me,
fucking
but
watch you. I know
you
you're a
who I
fucking
am.
loser.
Before I realized that CNN and MSNBC were full of shit, every once in a while I'd
What
see
do you watch?
talking. I watch all sorts of stuff.
Self-entitled YouTube channel. Confrontation began with a heckler almost immediately telling "You're a fucking moron." With the host sarcastically responding, "Thank you, and so are you." I mean, the reason why nobody believes anything Don Lemon says is because his fucking every time he talks, right? He's not an unbiased journalist. He has an agenda, clearly. Every time he has a fucking right. Every time he says something, he He always has to make it known. Made headlines for wait, what? Entering the office of rep with a group of anti-Trump Oh, Jesus, that's why. It came into his bunch of crazies. Trying to get viewers for his new podcast, adding that the group had stormed the Capitol and my office. Have been more sour than sweet. Well, yeah. I mean, he was sad when he got fucking kicked out of the fucking when he got kicked out of CNN. He didn't like that. It was his job. He loved that job. And then now he had to create his own channel. What is this? Oh, this is RFK Senate hearing. This is the full video. I didn't even. Let's not watch that. We found the most corrupt stock traders. Uh-oh. Let's see what's got going on here.
It is wrong fundamentally, and the American people know it's wrong.
When people think of the best investor in the world,
actually, is this? This isn't actually. This is not really news. That's not. Let's watch that. That's more of like an in-depth analysis. Let's watch that one.
To a Fox News alert, at least 5 people are dead and at least 11 are injured after a suspected terror attack in Jerusalem. Police say 2 terrorists opened fire on a bus stop at a busy intersection in North Jerusalem. The attackers are reportedly Palestinian from the West Bank, and although no group has claimed responsibility, Hamas has praised this attack. Joining me now is Fox News contributor Dan Hoffman. Dan, good morning to you. We are just learning details of this attack. What is your reaction to it?
Well, this is the ongoing challenge that Israeli security services face every day to collect intelligence on these terror groups, to infiltrate them, and to detect these attacks before they take place during the planning stages, so that Israeli Defense Forces, Israeli security services can preempt these terrorist attacks before any harm is caused. And in this case, they failed to do so. I'm sure they're going to be looking back at this this horrific attack and trying to ensure that they prevent the next one. But it's a tragedy for sure.
So we also have some movement on the ceasefire. Steve Witkoff apparently sent a new proposal to Hamas that would reportedly include the release of all hostages in exchange for 2,500 Palestinian prisoners and the IDF withdrawal from Gaza. Here is the president on where he thinks things stand right now. He said this yesterday. Listen here.
I think we're going to have a deal on Gaza very soon. It's a hell of a problem. Again, it's a problem we want to solve for the Middle East, for Israel, for everybody. Are you confident you can get them all released? I think so. I think we're going to get them all.
And overnight, the president wrote this on Truth Social, Dan.
Yeah, he was trying to get all the right. He basically wants the next deal, right? Whatever ceasefire deal or whatever they want, right? They want all the hostages released on that deal.
There will not be another one. He says this is his last warning. So what happens next?
Well, I think the challenge that Israel faces is that Hamas does not want peace. They're a terrorist group, and I think Hamas feels like they benefit from the war, the ongoing war. Hamas is going to lose every battle. Israel has decimated Hamas leadership
yeah,
really
he's killed all they killed all the fucking top officials right now. Right now they're like putting in new they're reinstating other people.
Australia,
they just killed off a lot of fucking top
France and
officials.
Germany are planning to recognize a Palestinian state during the upcoming UN General Assembly. Hamas sees that to their advantage. Hamas is fighting an insurgency, and yeah, they're holding 50 hostages, reportedly 20 of whom are still alive. The war is currency for Hamas. It's the oxygen that keeps them going, and so I just can't be very optimistic that we're going to get to a deal. Israel wants to ensure that Gaza can no longer present a threat. They want to finish the job against Hamas, and they want the hostages to come home. It's going to be difficult to see all of that working out in the near term.
Yeah, man, aren't you right about that? I mean, you can kill a terror group, you can kill a terrorist, but you can't kill an ideology. And in some ways, Hamas is winning on that front abroad. Speaking of abroad, Russia has launched the largest strike on Ukraine, Dan, since the war began. And this strike included damage to some of the Ukrainian cabinet offices.
Drone strikes
for the first time
and
ever. It was 100 drones launched towards Kyiv. This doesn't look like it's behavior coming from a country who is deterred or looking to wind down this war. So how do you view this latest development?
Well, there's never been any indication that Russia wants to wind down the war. Russia wants to achieve its strategic objective of overthrowing the government of Kyiv. But I think, as well, Vladimir Putin wants to demonstrate that the United States cannot project power in Europe, in Ukraine, to solve this crisis. President Putin heard President Trump when he was on the campaign trail loud and clear when the president said he could end the war in 24 hours. Putin wants to show that he can't. And I think that Putin wants to show everyone. He went to the military.
Well, I mean, the
parade
fact
in China
that
with
Trump
Xi
keeps
Jinping
saying what
and
he's
of
saying, like,
dictators with Kim
openly,
Jong-un, the
right?
president of Iran. Putin
It's
wants
like,
to show that
are you
Russia
trying to
can
tell that
decide
to
on its own
Putin? Because when Putin hears that, he's gonna be like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna listen to
What
this.
sort of leverage will we bring to this conflict? Is it secondary sanctions? Is it
Because I bet these
military
fucking
assistance to
politicians
Ukraine
are
through
obviously
those are
fucking
questions that
gathering
remain unanswered this
intelligence
week.
by
Yeah, and
fucking
with some
watching
European
our
leaders
fucking
visiting
news
the
media
US
outlets
today or
being
tomorrow, the president
retards.
said, and President Trump has also said that the EU needs to stop buying Russian oil because Russia receives over €1 billion.
You know how easy it is to get certain information, right? Especially for these guys.
The White House this week. Fox News contributor Dan
All
Hoffman.
they have to do is flip on the
both,
TV.
fronts, both wars in the Middle East and Europe as well. We appreciate it.
What have we got? Large amount of drugs and guns found during arrest of alleged wedding crasher. Uh-oh.
Good news here. 2 men have been arrested in connection with the theft of a wedding gift box in Glendale.
Oh, shit.
The thieves ruined what should have
Career criminals, eh?
been one of the local newlyweds' best nights ever.
One of them is accused of stealing roughly $60,000, and the other was the alleged getaway driver. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Caputo has the details on the arrest.
Less than a week after an Orange County couple became victims at their own wedding, police have recovered thousands of dollars that were stolen from them, and that's not all they found. It was the wedding heist heard around the world thanks to this now viral video of a well-dressed thief making off with a bride and groom's gift box last weekend, while his black suit and dress shoes allowed him to fit in at Nadine and George Farrah's 300-guest wedding in Glendale.
Look at that.
He couldn't hide from the various security cameras inside.
Man, he's like a spy, man. Doing
Before, during, and after this wedding crash
acting,
and grab.
man. Great actor to do some crime.
But that helped us.
Yeah, I mean, career criminals are right actors,
early
basically.
on in the investigation.
Just 5 days after the couple said "I do," Glendale police arrested Armin Shiragini and say he's the man who stepped on the dance floor and waltzed out of the Renaissance Banquet Hall with tens of thousands of dollars worth of cash and
Booyah.
checks from the wedding. We spoke with the newlyweds earlier this week.
I ended up sitting on the dance floor sobbing with my friends and cousins around me.
Glendale police say they recovered a pile of checks and a good amount of cash inside a safe
Not a
at the
gun?
suspect's home.
Obviously, this person did hit the jackpot. We believe they got about $60,000 and then a few checks. We did recover 26 checks in total and about $10,000.
And another surprising find when police executed search warrants on both Shiragini's house and the home of the alleged getaway driver, now identified as Andranik Adavizian, a large amount of drugs and a ton of guns.
Shit.
Despite what
Oh,
might look
yeah,
like
they had a
weapons,
bunch of
drugs, and
drugs. What
cash
the
all you'd
fuck,
see
man?
from
They
an
were running like a
organized
whole
criminal
operation.
enterprise.
Holy
Police say
fuck.
neither suspect had a criminal history of doing this, and the theft was likely a crime of opportunity.
Glendale has a lot of banquet halls, a lot of weddings every single weekend. So we
Wait, how did they get all the guns, though? Like, what?
location that they decided.
Did they steal it, too?
No weapons were used at the wedding, but police say Shiragini was armed when he was arrested Friday night.
Oh, he was. Oh, if things went sideways, he would
Vowing to
fucking.
focus on
Right.
all the fun before this moment.
You know, we had a wonderful ceremony at our church.
He probably was
We had
going
a
to
really
use it to,
fun
right,
party with our
deter
family
people.
and friends, and we were able to celebrate, you know, up until the incident.
I asked police if any or all of those guns were purchased legally. They said they're looking into it. They're also looking into the drugs and what appeared to be fake IDs as well. Essentially, any and all potential crimes these two men may be linked to. In Glendale, Tim Caputo.
Oh,
ABC
they had.
7
Wait, they had
Eyewitness
some
News.
fake IDs,
Tim,
too?
thank you.
Uh-oh.
I was able to interview that couple this week. They are
Oh,
a
man, they're
lovely
fucked,
couple, and
dude.
hopefully everything can now be returned to them.
With all the shit they caused, oh man, they're getting the book thrown at them. What's this? 2 gunmen reportedly board a bus and open fire before being killed by police. This was
We begin with some breaking news. Authorities in Israel say several people have been killed and more injured
I was
in
gonna
a
say, this is
shooting
the Jerusalem
incident in the outskirts of Jerusalem. Police say 2 attackers were
So
quote,
DW News
neutralized
even got
shortly
to it,
after the
too.
shooting began.
Everyone's
The incident
talking.
took place at a major intersection at the northern entrance to Jerusalem on a road that leads to Jewish settlements located in East Jerusalem. And joining us now from Tel Aviv is the journalist Marika Enghusen. Marika, could you start by giving us the latest in terms of what you're hearing about this incident?
Sure. So the reports are still changing. The event is very fresh.
When was this? 20 hours ago?
The scenes were
the one we saw was 12 hours ago, and that was more recent. So I mean, you can. I'm just gonna put this in the description, right? We're not gonna watch the full thing. I already saw. Right, we saw something more recent. So let's move on to the next.
It is a big news day, and there are volatile issues at play. There's plenty to talk about on crime and punishment, and I'll get to the sentencing of that evil triple murderer, Aaron Patterson, in just a moment. But I want to start on another multiple killing, also in Victoria, but this one happened just over the weekend. The horrific machete attack that killed 2 young boys in the outer suburbs of western suburbs of Melbourne. 12-year-old Chol and 15-year-old Dao Akbung were brutally stabbed and hacked with machetes as they walked home from a bus stop on Saturday night. This was a shocking crime, and police believe the pair were targeted by a gang, perhaps in a case of mistaken identity.
2 young friends on their way home from basketball, brutally ambushed and attacked by a gang of machete-wielding thugs, the pair dying just metres apart, leaving behind 2 heartbroken families. Neighbours heard the boys screaming in the usually quiet Cobblebank streets and rushed to help. But the boys couldn't be saved.
Just a sickening waste of young lives and a frightening reality check about the level of violent crime in Melbourne. Shoplifting, ram raids, home invasions and gang crime. Remember just 7 years ago, this was called out by then Minister for Home Affairs Peter Dutton in a radio interview with me on Sydney's 2GB.
The reality is, people are scared to go to restaurants at night time because they're followed home by these gangs. And cars are stolen, and we just need to call it for what it is. Of course, it's
prison land. Gotta love the gangs.
The whole community. There are many good people.
Yeah, everyone has gangs. Yeah.
Would condemn this action as strongly as you and I would.
Now, this sparked outrage, not about the crime, but against Dutton for being so blunt about the problem, and according to his critics, for exaggerating the problem.
This is not a crisis. We've seen, sure, a spike in relation to some antisocial behaviour over summer in the last few weeks, but this is not a crisis.
I just put that down to people coming up with excuses for why they couldn't meet Dutton for dinner. Like, I can't get a babysitter, Peter. I have a work thing in the morning, Peter. I can't make it to the restaurant because I'm scared of the African gangs, Peter. I think the government is facing the Super Saturday elections next week, and to put it crudely, they want to appear tough on Sudanese migrants, despite the fact those migrants are responsible for just 1% of crime. Because being tough on that community,
even in UK land, they were They were calling out police problems, 5 years ago, and they're still having 10 years.
Like, he's happiest when he's bagging Melbourne and bagging Victoria.
Oh, yeah.
Just imagine if instead of attacking Peter Dutton and denying the problem, the media, authorities and the Victorian Labor government had concentrated on getting on top of their crime
it's
problem.
not good.
Especially youth crime.
Like when even your own, some of your own is fucking causing
they have a machete
criminal
amnesty
activity.
going on now in
That's
Victoria.
not
Seriously,
good.
a machete amnesty scheme.
Right.
Imagine that.
They're supposed to
calling on
protect the
people to
public, and
hand in their machetes.
they're they're causing crime
$13 million
themselves.
scheme. They've got special bins in place for people to deposit their machetes and escape prosecution, which of course means the most dangerous criminals will just hang on to theirs. Look, crime is a problem all around the country, sure, and no police force or government is ever going to eradicate crime altogether. But violent crime is a particular problem in Melbourne. A cop killer is still on the loose in Victoria, and aside from those 2 stabbing deaths on the weekend, there was another drive-by shooting murder in the CBD. Instead of getting outraged about anyone mentioning African gangs or referencing the fear of Melburnians,
You might as well just that's the other issue. I think people are so quick to jump at maybe it's gang related. Maybe just figure out, hey, maybe just stop the crime first. Maybe capture the criminal first. Maybe worry about that shit later, right? Your main priority is, protecting the public, yes? Well, actually, it's more the politicians, right, stirring shit up like that, so.
8 months after the devastating
What's
Pacific Palisades fire reduced much of Los Angeles to ashes, we're learning about possible failures that led to the worst wildfire in California's history. News Nation exclusively obtained documents that revealed missteps by officials in California, All those missteps contributed to the catastrophic losses.
Yeah.
12 people died as a result of the Palisades fire. The total economic cost is between $18 and $20 billion for insured losses alone. President Trump was asked about how Governor Gavin Newsom handled the Palisades fire during an Oval Office press conference Wednesday afternoon.
Right, and most of that, I don't even know if those people will be able to rebuild.
They send the water out to the Pacific Ocean, so I demanded it be open. If that
Right,
were
some
open
the rich
during
people
the fire,
who
before the fire,
obviously
you
have
wouldn't
enough
fire,
money
because
can
all the sprinklers
rebuild.
would have worked in the houses. They
But
had
then
no
there's
water.
obviously
I still
people who
investigation. I
don't
view
have
it
that
as
kind of money to
progressive
rebuild.
governance. I view it as an ideology that's wrong.
News Nation investigative
So they're
correspondent
probably
Rich
going to
McHugh
sell the
reviewed those
land,
documents. Rich,
which
what
is
did you
then
learn?
going to be sold off to like probably
Elizabeth, there were failures across the board before the fire,
shady
during the
immigrants
fire, and
that
after.
we
We're learning
don't
of
fucking know
disturbing
about.
missteps that ultimately led to 12 people losing their
Or be
lives
used
and
as
7,000 structures being destroyed.
right, foreign invader
When the
camps.
Palisades fire started on January 7th,
Because the
Michael
government
Valentine was one of the
loves
first
doing
to
that.
see it. He shot these videos as his wife called
Especially in
911,
California.
and he waited and waited for
You
help
got
to
a bunch
come.
of
We did not see any
libtards.
firefighters up there.
Democrat libtards that fuck shit
That's
up
the
all
question.
the time.
I don't know. I wish I knew the answer to that. I have no idea. I have no idea why that is.
Today, his home is gone, and Valentine is among the thousands suing the state and the city.
Wow. At least the stoop is still here.
And that's where it started, right?
Yes, exactly.
Or just beyond that?
Just beyond that. Yeah. But that's roughly where it started.
We're here on the Skull
Yeah,
Rock
just
Trailhead,
beyond
where
the
authorities
hill.
believe simmering embers
And it
from a
just
New
came
Year's
rushing
Eve
down.
fire ultimately was the start of the January 7th fire, the Palisades fire that swept down this ridge, ultimately taking 7,000 structures before it was finished. All the while, the Santa Ynez Reservoir over there sat empty. Shortly
Yeah.
before the fire started, Governor Gavin Newsom pre-deployed
Yeah,
crews and 110
yeah,
fire trucks
yeah.
to
He
Southern
he went
California.
over here. I was like, oh yeah,
Pacific
everything's
Palisades.
fine. It's just dandy.
Palisades. We had a brush fire within 5 days prior to the Palisades fire starting.
Fucking loser.
So the first place you should pre-deploy, in my view, is you send them to where you had a recent fire, and that didn't happen. Nor did any National Guard troops arrive at the Palisades fire site before the fire started.
Roger Bailey represents over 3,000 Palisades victims suing the state of California, Los
I
Angeles,
bet.
and the LA Department of Water and Power. Internal records Bailey has obtained show what he believes are massive failures. While the Santa Ynez Reservoir sat empty,
Yeah,
LADWP was
that's
supposed
probably
to put the
why.
Palisades Reservoir into service.
That's probably why there hasn't been a lot of stuff been happening in the Palisades fire area because there's a bunch of lawsuits happening right
spot
now.
fires starting all over the Pacific
Oh shit! I
Palisades
accidentally fucking.
after the main fire started, burning down homes.
Yeah,
burning
with
down
all the
neighborhoods.
lawsuits happening,
Had
yeah,
the
they
power
probably
been
don't
turned
want to
off,
fucking
those spot
do
fires
too
would have
much.
been avoided.
And then they tried to cover their tracks.
The person that was supposed to shut the power off didn't arrive until much later in the day. And when he finally arrived, he determined that he couldn't shut the power off and the fire was at the back door and he had to leave. About 3 weeks later, that same technician goes back into the log records and changes the time that he said he arrived from 6 o'clock in the evening back to 1:45 in the afternoon, a change of about 5.5 hours.
If you had to characterize the state and the city's response
Oh, he's
to these fires on January 7th,
he's trying to
what would you
wash
say?
away his culpability.
Incompetent. This is just the redefining incompetence. This is what you'd expect to see in a third world country. You don't expect to see this in the United States or in the state of California.
Never in a million years would have I suspected that the city.
Yeah, I mean
and
their
the
mistake
LADWP
literally
would
caused
seek to manufacture
right
facts
tons and tons of
to fit their
fucking
narrative
damage to
in
the
order to
fucking
avoid liability.
state.
It's absolutely disgusting.
Now, CAL FIRE just confirmed to me that they did not pre-deploy any fire trucks to the Palisades before the fire. We are still awaiting comment from LADWP. We're also hearing that a
Gotta
Senate
love the
investigation into all
incompetence
this
of
is
people
imminent.
during.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news.
Why are you so loud? Shut the fuck up. But yeah, gotta love people and their incompetence when faced with real fucking dangers. Yes. Fucking people sometimes.
Thousands protest troops in Washington, D.C. on Saturday morning.
And we feel like the whole city is being undermined. We don't want this. We don't need this. We want to tell them to get out of our city. We got this.
Protesters at the We Are All D.C. march chant against President Donald Trump. Last month, the president deployed troops to the city, stating a crackdown on crime. He also put the police department under federal control. Also on Saturday, Trump takes to social media, warning of increased deportations in Chicago. I love the smell
Well,
of
I mean, you should see
deportations
what
in
he
the
said
morning.
today.
Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War, he wrote. On Friday, Trump changed the name of the Department of Defense to the Department of War.
I think it's a much more.
He's running what he's doing, like Operation whatever.
Is right now.
He's doing an operation in Chicago.
We have the greatest equipment in the world. We have the greatest manufacturers of equipment by far. There's nobody to even compete, and you see that with this and so many other things. The Patriots are the best. Every element of the military, we make the best by far.
During that same press conference, the president announced he decided
Operation
on another city
Midway
to deploy
Blitz.
National Guard troops, but did not disclose the location.
He's going in.
For Straight Arrow News, I'm Jack Henry.
Well, yeah, there it is. That was September 7th, so it was yesterday. So they didn't get the news yet, or actually, they won't get the. Straight Arrow News probably won't get the news of him doing Operation Midway Blitz till right tomorrow. Or whenever it's morning for them to do the news. What's this? Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker claims his admin is succeeding at fighting violent crime in Chicago. Sure.
They have their job.
Yeah, that
we have our job, which
Operation
is to fight
Midway
violent
Blitz
crime
be
on the streets of our city. And
different,
by the way,
eh?
we're succeeding at that job. But when they bring people in and don't coordinate with us, they're going to cause enormous problems.
You sure about that?
In Chicago over the weekend, at least 54 people were shot. This is just over Labor Day weekend, 7 killed. Several of the incidents were mass shootings with multiple victims at a single scene. In one instance, a teenage girl was hit with a stray bullet. The violence comes as President Trump threatens to send federal agents and National Guard troops to Chicago to quell the crime there, despite objections from the city's mayor, Brandon Johnson, and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. Unfortunately, Joe, this is not unusual in Chicago, which has been plagued by gun violence for generations, not years, for generations.
Yeah, 54 people shot this weekend in Chicago, 7 killed. I mean, and those numbers just keep piling up.
We have our job, which is to fight violent crime on the streets of our city. And by the way, we're succeeding at that job.
What the fuck they're doing? Do you understand that?
What a bunch
of
bullshit.
That they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that? So hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. What was this?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and a guy I used to like a lot. I still like him to somewhat, but gosh, if there's a chance you're looking for a Republican to come down on the wrong side of something these days, look no further than Rand Paul. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. You know, in the past year, Rand Paul's been wrong about a lot.
Oh yeah.
But maybe not so
I mean,
much
there has been some things he's okay with, but there's been other things where it's like, dude, what are you doing?
Into the United States.
He like he tries so hard to walk the middle lane, but at the same time, it seems like he's in bed with the fucking Democrat libtards. It's fucking weird.
They're freedom loving. They believe in the Constitution, but sometimes libertarians.
The motherfucker's all over the place.
Sometimes libertarians believe all narcotics should be legal. Oftentimes libertarians are against military action of any kind, no matter the circumstances.
Yes.
They're isolationists, a lot of them. Rand Paul seems to fall into that category quite a bit.
Yeah.
I, as a Republican, am not an isolationist. I do believe in military action when appropriate. Not unnecessarily, but when appropriate. Rand Paul believes in it almost never. And that's a big difference. And he criticized Trump. And he called the actions against these Venezuelan drug smugglers despicable.
Yes.
Despicable. That was the word he used. Now, Scott Jennings replied to it on CNN when he was asked about it. And his reply was very interesting, actually. Wasn't at all what I expected. I want you to watch this and let me know what you think in the comments.
We have a real problem.
All right, I want to move on to another topic. There was a U.S. Navy strike
on
a boat this
CNN.
week. You just heard Tom Homan talking about it. The administration alleges was trafficking drugs.
Is this
for the
soy
Venezuelan
guy?
gang Tren de Aragua. 11 people on the boat were killed. J.D. Vance tweeted, Killing cartel
Oh, it's
members
this
and
one, the
poisoning our
JD
fellow
Vance
citizens
tweet. Oh
is
my
the
god.
highest and
Dude, the
best use
JD
of our
Vance
military,
tweet is so
to which a liberal commentator, Brian Krasenstein, responded,
Oh,
killing the
based.
citizens of another nation who are
Let's go,
civilians
JD
without
Vance.
any due process is called a war
I don't know
crime,
who
and then
this
JD Vance
Brian
responded, quote, "I don't
Krasenstein
give a
is,
shit what you
but
call
he's
it."
a soy fucking bitch
Scott
boy.
Jennings. Thoughts?
Well, I'll give you
He's
my
gonna right. If that dude ever tries to run for president, he would be a terrible
most Republicans
president.
certainly,
And
that
he would
is
run
that
the country to
societal
the
decline is a
ground.
choice. And when you let people come into
Right,
the
he
country,
wouldn't be able
by the
to
millions, when you
right
let
make
drugs
hard
flow over the
decisions
border, and
as
you just
like
say, well, let's just get 'em
fucking
here
beheading
and
people.
See how the bureaucracy
Be
sorts
beheaded.
it out. Most people want a more aggressive response.
You
Societal
gotta
decline
cut
is
off
a
the
choice,
hydras,
and
man.
They see this illegal immigration
Gotta
problem
cut
and this
off
drug
the
flow
snakes
problem
and heads.
as part of overall societal
You
decline.
gotta get
They
rid
are
of 'em.
hoping and looking for and happy with Trump and Vance.
And
taking a
if you
muscular
don't do it, you're
responsibility.
fucking your own. You're fucking your own country.
Paul said and come right to you because you
Because
used to
those
work with the
people
Justice
fuck
Department
your
under
ass
Biden.
in every time you allow
Senator
them
Rand
to.
Paul, a Republican from Kentucky, said, "JD, I don't give a shit. Vance," that's his words, not mine, says killing people he accuses of a crime is the highest and best use of the
Yeah.
military.
Also, why would
Did he
you
ever reach
allow
for
a
the
bunch of
Mockingbird? Did he ever
cartel
wonder what
members
might
to
happen if
just
the accused were immediately
right
executed
facilitate
without trial or
drug
representation? What a despicable
carrying
and
over a
thoughtless
bunch of
sentiment it is to
drugs
glorify killing someone
that could
without
be
a trial.
possibly then used to kill a bunch of right
he has
people?
a lot of fair points there. I think there are
Not good.
things that the administration
Not
could be
good
doing
at
that
all.
are unlawful, and there are legal questions around it. But what I'll also say is that no administration, Republican or Democrat, has been for cartel leaders. Everyone has worked to arrest and extradite cartel leaders. But the way that they've done it successfully in the last administration, they had a dozen cartel leaders from the Sinaloa cartel that they extradited or arrested, is through the help of that country. And you have to have the intelligence from that country in order to arrest and extradite people.
Yeah,
Once you
but
start
it's
going around
Venezuela.
and
You
killing
think
people
Maduro
without
likes us?
coordination of a country, that intelligence
Maduro put a fucking bounty on Trump's head. You think Maduro's gonna give us any more information? What? You people are retarded.
then stops, and that is the last thing the Americans want.
I just don't.
Is for
You
that
people
to
are
I just don't know how you get
stupid.
intelligence from a country like Venezuela.
Yes.
I mean, how you have to stop
Like
their operation.
you, like these people are actively trying to get people killed. If these people are running the country, you do not allow these people to make decisions. Jesus fuck. They would literally, suicide your own fucking citizenry. Alright, there you have it. And that is it for fast news. That was a lot of news. I'll leave all the sources and description for thing. There's a mixed bag of stuff. A lot of fucked up shit too, yeah. Just like usual. Anyways, there you have it.